Because their climate is changing and fast.
There's a lot of people that are in need right now. There's a lot of people on food lines who've never been on a food line before. A lot of people are out of work. A lot of people are having problems paying their rent. Just so much is going on, and there's so much hatred right now in the world. So I'm here and I am voting because my vote counts just like everyone else's. So
there are so many reasons. I mean, climate change, racism, women's rights, human rights, I mean, immigration. I feel like everything's on the line, and I think this is our chance to take our country back and put it on track in a good progressive direction.
To deal with COVID is rather important, because once that is being resolved, everything will fall into its place, like will go back to normal.
Because we're sliding into a dictatorship and it's time to put a stop to the current regime.
It's going to determine pretty much the fate of the world. I mean, right now, climate change is really going to be affecting everybody. And if we don't make definitive decisions now, we might not have the chance to change our minds in the future.
I think this is the most important election of my lifetime, for sure. I think we're making a choice about the character of our country, how we treat our own citizens, how we treat other people around the world. As far as I'm a mom, and this has a lot of resonance for me because I've really had to use the last 4 years as a litmus test about bad behavior for my children. I use this administration as an example of what not to do. And I'd really like to go back to being proud of the people that are in charge of our country, and I'd like to have my kids feel proud about being American.
I think it's an important election because so much progress we made 4 years ago has been reversed. So I feel this is our opportunity to come out and hopefully make some more change. And we have 2 small children, so trying to make a better future for them.
I think it's been a frustrating 4 years after an amazing 8 years, and that frustration inspires us to be out here and vote, but frankly that should be the inspiration. The inspiration should be out here regardless of what the last 4 years have been like. So that's truly why we're out here.
I'm voting because I have children, I have a daughter, and we're all going to live on the planet Earth for as long as I can figure out. So there's a lot of moving parts that are important for that right now.
I'm voting because for the first 16 years of my life I felt very safe and I didn't really have to think about politics that much. And then all of a sudden, in high school things changed and the world became a little bit more dangerous, and I think that this election will really put things back into a safer environment for everybody.
Because we need change very badly right now. So this is probably the most important election I've ever voted in. Although I do always vote, I wouldn't miss this for anything.
Well, this is an important election because the country is extremely divided. We need to unite it. We cannot have so much division. Bring back the country that we had is important.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues in the world today, like climate change and racism. And I think we all just need unity, like she said.
I think we need to preserve the Obama Act, and also I'm concerned about Roe versus Wade getting overturned.
I think this is a really big turning point for our country, and it could either go in a really bad direction or it could change and head into a much better direction. I think Biden is a step in the right direction.
I think that the country is divided, and it is important that we all unite and then come and show your voice as to how we can all be united.
I'm a medical doctor. The way the COVID is not handled properly, actually I wanted to be a part of it, to at least make some difference.
Because there's a lot that is, I would say, hinging on this election, depending if you want to view it as an environmental standpoint, regulation standpoint. I know the EPA has been scaled back in many ways, and we used to pride ourselves on having so many great amenities of having the cleanest air, water, and with these scale backs, these things are now subject to change, and this goes across the board for everything. America isn't really #1 in many areas. We're not #1 in education anymore when it comes to mathematics or science. number one when it comes to child mortality when a baby's being born. I know we spend some of the most when it comes to healthcare, yet we aren't near the top of the list for anything. Yes, we have some of the best hospitals, one-offs, but as a whole for our country, which is where we're supposed to be, we're stagnant and we're lagging, and I hope this election can maybe change that.
To exercise the right to vote, to have my voice heard, to you know, change the direction that this country is going in, to protect the future of our planet and our fellow citizens.
Well, it's an important election because it's not just the president's seat that's at stake. It's a historically vice presidential seat up for grabs too, and it's the cabinet and it's the Supreme Court, so it has kind of a domino effect. And as a woman, the fact that the right that I have to my body is in jeopardy because of the Supreme Court is particularly important and acting as a catalyst. Oh, Trump's evil.
Great.
I feel like our democracy depends on the outcome of this vote.
I think we have the worst president we've ever had. I think he's misogynistic. I think he's homophobic. I think he's racist. I think he has a questionable character, and it is very important in terms of the world, in terms of the planet, that we get Joe Biden in instead.